All right. Now, the other thing is there are private areas around here. And so those benches, all the benches that you see kind of south of the stage and all of the carpeted kind of areas, those are private areas. If you go sit on those benches or in those spaces, you can still live in myself at this time. And then Mike's going to join us shortly. You can hear us from anywhere in the whole tavern. But if you want to have a private conversation with people, you can go sit on those benches, have your little side conversation, and no one else can hear you, which is pretty cool. What else? We also have a chat feature. If you go over to the left-hand side of your screen, you will see a kind of like soft blue box sticking out, and either it will say DRF V3 and list everyone who's here at Pixelwyck, or at the bottom left, there's the little like people icons, and it says how many people are here. But right above that, there's two little bubbles that say that have like, they look like talkie bubbles, like you see when you talk to someone in real life. The little bubble, it comes out your mouth, and then it forms the words. And then if they want to read it rather than listen to it, like I like to read books instead of audiobooks, but like if people want to listen, they can listen. But if you want to read, you can read it. But right now, it's just the chat. The chat is just for chatting. No one's going to say the words out loud except for me, because I might read them, or Liv might, or Mike might. Who knows? You never know what's going to happen. This is the first green room that I've hosted in quite a long time, and it's our very first green room in Pixelwyck, so I'm super excited. But if you have a question for any of the three of us, you can type it into that box, and then I'll make sure that the proper person or improper person, whatever, I don't have to do your rules. I do my own rules. Everyone take a drink of a drink. And so you can put those in there, and I'll make sure people answer them or not, whatever. That's cool. You guys got that? If you got that, you can go down to the very bottom of your screen, at the bottom of where your little bubble with that says your name and online is, and then it has like a foldy out brochure, and then it has a little TV screen. It has a little smiley face. If you hover over that smiley face with your cursor, you can do a whole bunch of emojis, 6 to be exact. Yeah, if you got it, you can do emoji number 4, thumbs up. That's what we got. I see it. You guys are doing a great job. Now, can I see a show of hearts from those emojis? Who has been in Pixelwyck before today? Hearts and hearts. I see 3 hearts. It says, oh, Nicole. Hi from Scarborough. Hi, Broodman. Yeah, I recognize a whole bunch of people. Liv, are you back? Are you ready?
I am, and I'm going to make a couple of quick announcements in terms of being streamed to Facebook. So if you are near the front of the stage, you will be visible to anybody watching on Facebook or YouTube. So if you prefer that not be the case, feel free to turn off your cameras. We won't judge you. And then another thing is that if you are currently listening from YouTube or Facebook and you want to join us here at the party, then all you have to do is go to pixelwyck.com. And then you click the button, and then you just use your little arrow keys to come to the tavern, which is built in number 2, and that's where we're all hanging out. In Pixelwyck, you can also go around to all the shops. You can explore if you'd like, if you're bored of the sound of our voices. So that's something that you should keep in mind. If you are listening from Facebook or YouTube, the reason why it's better in Pixelwyck, if you can make it here, is my voice might be a weird bit laggy because I am sending it to all of yous. I also sound echoey because I'm in a cave right now. But I will also be reading some comments from Facebook and YouTube. So starting with Karen Stevenson says, hi, Gwendolyn.
Hi, Karen Stevenson. Oh, she can hear me, though. You don't have to say it back to her. You know, Liv, when you hold your whatever that orange thing is, it looks like an eyelash curler. Genius. Eyelash curlers scare the heck out of me. They're so scary. Why would you put some pinchy thing near your eyes? That's ridiculous. All right, Liv, what do you think? Are we ready to get started?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Hey, Mike from League of Swords, come on up to the stage with us.
Hello.
Yes. Hello. And now, like Liv said, if you want to turn your camera off, you totally can. If you want to turn your microphone off, that's fine too. If you have questions for us, put them in the chat, and I'll make sure that they get quasi-answered. I promise nothing. Everyone take a drink of your drink.
I left my drink in the other room. Oh, God.
No, do you need to go get it?
No,
stall.
I think it's okay. It's okay.
Dance.
It's water,
okay,
so there isn't really that much of a need to stall.
Well, it I mean, hydration is very important.
Hydrate or dihydrate.
Oh, I seem to have drawn a nest.
Well, that's
Oops.
really clever.
Oh, good.
Congratulations,
Thank
Liv.
you.
Yeah, what kind of nest is it? Can you hold it up for us to see it?
Sure. I think it might be a blackbird nest because I was hanging out with them before. I didn't realize what they were doing in my hair, but that's what happens with blackbirds.
I know, right? Hashtag blackbirds be cray, right?
Mhm.
Everyone take a drink of your drink. Now, listen, everybody. League of Swords is brand new to the digital Ren Fair. You've probably seen me, the Gwendolyn, and Liv the Druid before, but League of Swords is brand new. So welcome, Mike from League of Swords. How are you?
I am doing very good. How are you?
I'm very good. How are you, Liv?
I am doing very well as well.
Excellent.
Awesome.
I'm glad
Well,
we're all doing well.
I know, right? Me too. Now, what we're gonna see today, League of Swords, we're gonna see some fighting from you
We
guys,
are.
and some funny comedy, doop stuff. I started using doop for comedy recently.
It's good. That's
I don't know why.
I think if more people described themselves as stand-up doopadoopians, that would be much better.
I concur. Everyone take a drink of your drink.
Can I be an improv doopadoopian?
Hashtag improv doopadoopian. Let's
Hey,
put
you
it
want
on
to
a
come see
bumper
my
sticker.
improv doopadoopian group tonight? We've got lots of seats. They're all open for some reason, in fact.
See, that's the thing. Because if you're like, you want to come see my improv show, people are like, oh, I'm washing my hair that night. And you're like, I didn't even tell you what day it was. And then they're like, oh, I wash my hair all the time. But if you're like, come see my improv doopadoop, they'll be like, ooh, very interesting.
It sounds
Tell me
mysterious and strange.
Yes,
Please, tell me
yes.
more of your dupes and your dupes.
more. And your doop poop. Not poops. Not that one. I take it away. Mike from League of Swords. Now, are you new to the festival circuit? Give us some backstory,
definitely.
please, so we can
Okay.
fill out our charts.
Sure. As long as the charts are triple checked and you've got all the TPS reports and everything.
Totally.
Okay,
Smash that
great.
copier.
The League of Swords is brand new. Obviously, I've been going to Ren fairs for my whole life. But this is a project that I've been working on / dreaming about for too long now, and finally kicked off during the pandemic because I'm an insane person. Is basically the League of Swords is a story-based live event sword fighting series. So imagine like the crazy characters from a 90s video game, like Mortal Kombat, the drama and over-the-top storylines of professional wrestling, and then choreographed sword fights on top of that. And so it's something that we've been working on for a while. I've always wanted to do, and then we got a chance to do a fight for Pixelwyck back when Pixelwyck was still Pixelwyck, although they are still Pixelwyck, everything's Pixelwyck.
We are still Pixelwyck, but yeah, we'd understand what you mean.
Yeah, I knew what you meant.
Before the big change.
Yes, before everything changed. Dieter, who booked me for that show, I had been telling him about the league, and I was just going to give him a regular sword fight, and he was like, no, you should make it the first league fight. And so I went from, I've been thinking about this project for 5 years to, we're starting this project this month, let's go.
Wow.
And so we've got 2 fights so far. The second one will premiere this evening, which is Hunter X Sword Wizard. The first fight, Bard X Poet, is already on our YouTube channel, and easily available to watch there. And we actually were just shooting our 3rd video right before I jumped onto this call.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah.
We have
Very impressive.
2 things coming from Facebook. Michelle Drury says, woohoo, fighting. I think I said that with not as much enthusiasm as I think there was supposed to be. But then also Ian Morris says, are you saying you perform choreographed sword fights?
We do indeed perform choreographed sword fights. So I apologize to all you WMA fans out there who are like, but what if they did actual long sword fighting? And we do have people who do that. But we really want to tell stories. And the only way you tell stories really is through choreographed fights. So
if you did actual long, big sword fighting, then someone might lose an arm and then you couldn't do the next show.
I hear it's very safe these days. They have this like stuff you wear on your face.
But what about your arm?
That's a good point.
Yeah. I mean, this is the moneymaker. Like, you don't want to mess this up. but like you need your arm for fighting and for shields and such.
Yeah.
I do want to pause for just a second and say that guy Frosty is here, and it's their first time here.
Yeah.
What's up?
Yay!
So exciting. And Nicole Photographer says hi, everyone. She's from Scarborough. I just met her tangentially this year, and I'm looking. I put that's me. I typed in the chat. Okay, and then someone's talking to Nicole for. Okay, all right, we're back.
Yes.
We did it. I'm just checking.
And I should say that
chat.
in case anybody came in late, if you want to have it be your first time at Pixelwyck 2, you can come join us right now at pixelwyck.com, click the button, and then come join us in the tavern, building number 2.
And if I can just say, Pixelwyck is one of the coolest things I've ever seen. If you guys have not been here, like it's not just a full virtual Ren Fair rebuilt. It's like a fantasy land. There's like hidden quests. I found a secret room the last time I was here. Like, it's incredible. You gotta come.
And stuff is changing and building all the time. So Digital Ren Fair is now the
Custodians.
keepers. We're the what?
I said custodians, but I like stewards better.
Oh yeah, stewards. I was gonna say like groundskeepers.
Oh, I like that too.
Yeah. We'll talk about it. We're now the groundskeepers / custodians / what was the other one you said?
Stewards?
Stewards of Pixelwyck right now. So keep your eyes on the Digital Ren Fair Facebook page so you can see all the different things that we're changing when our next big event in Pixelwyck is going to be. Also, make sure that you like and / follow whichever to the Digital Ren Fair page on Facebook and on YouTube if you haven't yet, because you can see all of the announcements. We have so many things going on at the Digital Ren Fair, but let's focus right back down on here to our good time in the green room.
Yeah.
It's called it's kind of inside the green room, but I like the G's, like Good Time in the Green Room, hosted by the Gwendolyn, because there's alliteration.
Gwendolyn Green Room Good Times.
Gwendolyn's glorious green room.
Oh my God, Mike, you're my new favorite. So
Wait.
Mike, what? Liv, you're my favorite.
Okay, cool.
Also, that guy Frosty just did like the flowers thing, so they're my favorite too.
Makes sense.
Okay. Yeah. Also, I wanted to say before we went on is that at 8 p.m. Eastern is our main stage show, and you can watch that a couple of different ways. You can watch it on Facebook on the Digital Ren Fair Facebook page. You can watch it on youtube.com/Digital Ren Fair, or you can go over to the list, and it's like a watch party. You can go hang out there. Liv, what number building is the Palace? I forget.
The Palace is number 12. I'm almost positive. I'm going to double check that, but number 12.
All right, you get back to us. All right, cool. So, Mike, tell me where if you don't want to just close your location, you don't have to. But where are you from, ish? Where are you located, ish?
My address is I'm from Northern California.
And what's your social security number?
And my mother's maiden name and the name of my first pet.
Yeah, that one too. And the street you grew up on. So you're in California.
Yeah, I'm in Northern California. I'm in a sunny little town called San Mateo. It's about half an hour south of San Francisco. A little bit of a lovely suburban town. Yeah.
Have you lived there the whole time of your life? Or
no. I was born in upstate New York, and then I went to Connecticut, England, New Jersey, England, Boston, here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, where in upstate New York?
Schenectady was where I was born.
Oh my God, we're best friends.
Oh, are we? Is that where
we
you're
have
from?
3 people who can all say
I'm not
Schenectady. And because
Schenectady.
we're all in the same area-ish.
Yes, no, yeah, I'm from upstate New York as well too. Also, but I didn't talk about it in real life.
Fair.
So again, forget you heard that part. Okay, but now you're in California. Liv, go.
Yeah. I have a quick question that's come in. I'm really excited because Ian Morris says, first of all, I found pixelwyck.com. Welcome, Ian. But he asks 2 questions. One is, how did you train for the sword fights? And also, where can he see more of your choreographed sword fights beyond what's going to be in the main show tonight?
Fabulous. So how I got trained in stage combat is a kind of funny story. When I was in middle school in England, the school decided instead of doing a science fair, it was going to do what it called a root festival or roots festival, which was an arts fair, but for like a science fair. And so everyone in the school had to come up with some sort of artistic thing. Are you sneaking onto camera? This?
Who's this? Yes. You a sneaky person?
Yes, my wife is trying to steal something from me. Oh,
sneaky
this.
Hey, wife. Oh, pretty. Oh, she's so sneaky.
Yes,
Look
she
at
is.
her.
She's the best. She's a rogue,
Aw.
obviously. Anyway, and so I wrote a play that was not at all a ripoff of Star Wars in any way, shape, or form. And the school happened to have a fight choreographer in residence of the theater program for the high school.
May I ask what school this was?
Tassis in England.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I went to the American school, so that's why I asked.
Oh, okay.
I went to QZ Vale, but only for a week.
There were
And
so
it's a
many
middle
American
school.
schools over there. So many.
No, it wasn't American. Anyway, go.
Anyway, yes. Sorry. And so Evan Young, who was the fight choreographer, my parents, because the play, I wrote it with sword fights because that's me. I'm obsessed with swords. And so my parents reached out to him because he knew my brother and were like, hey, could you, choreograph this for us? And so we ended up getting, other than me, all high school actors to act in the show. And then we all learned how to sword fight. And so I was like a, 7th or 8th grader battling a senior with swords in front of all of my classmates. And it was pretty amazing.
You laid the smackdown.
Right. And so since then, I've kind of been doing it off and on. I love, more than anything, the fight choreography because it's like dancing or singing. It's like when you run out of words to say, then you start throwing punches, but you're still telling a story. And so you're still figuring out the best way to have these two characters go into conflict that also gets across the story you're trying to tell about their relationship and where it's going and all of these things. And you could tell so many different kinds of stories with swords. I've seen Taming the Shrew done with sword fights. I don't know if anybody here has seen this, but there's an amazing the movie itself isn't that great, but Pride and Prejudice and Zombies has a scene between Elizabeth and Mr. Darcy that in the books is an argument, and in this they turn into the same argument, but also they're trying to do kung fu on each other. And it's so great. It's so great.
Amazing.
Just look up that fight if you can.
Look up the fight from Pride and Prejudice and Zombies.
Yep, that's the one.
Okay. All right.
So I've choreographed some fights for stage in the area, and I've done a couple of things for film here and there. And then like a number of years ago, because I am a huge pro wrestling fan, I was asking my friend about getting into training, and I went to look at a training school, and the school it was a good school for learning how to be a professional wrestler, but it had that same kind of like boys club, like we yell at our students culture. And I wasn't super into that. And my friend who was a professional wrestler was like, well, that's just kind of how it is. If you want to do this stuff, you have to really be okay with that. And I was like,
invaded.
Oh no,
Hold
another
on.
sneaky
Please hold.
person.
Keep talking.
And so I was like, well then, fine, I'll build my own. And what if I did it with swords? For the answer to the question about where you can find more about us, we are on Twitter at League of Swords. We are on Facebook. I think it's facebook.com/ either /League of Swords or /The League of Swords.
I believe it's the from typing it many times.
I appreciate that. Let's see. It is indeed. Oh, did I lose you guys because I left the window? Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, it is the League of Swords.
Liv, my unicorn is running away. I will be back in a minute.
No worries, I'll take over.
Thank you.
Yeah, and then our YouTube channel is linked on those places, so that's the easiest way to find it because we don't have enough subscribers for a fancy custom YouTube URL yet.
It's sneaky how you does that. Yes.
I've got a question here from Broodman, which I love. He says, if I was a pro wrestler, what would your finishing move be? And that is, glad you asked. It would be a running blockbuster, which for those of you who know professional wrestling, it's the move that Buff Bagwell used to do off of the top rope, where you jump and flip and catch the guy's head in mid-flip. And I've seen some wrestlers do it from the ground as opposed to the top rope, where they just bounce off the ropes and run and jump over the guy. And that, ever since I saw it in a Spider-Man comic, that's been my finishing move.
Nice. We have another specific question about the fights from Michelle Drury. She asks, these sword fights, 3 questions. Are any peasants tossed? Where's the mead? And are there fairies?
So the great thing about the League of Swords is we're not just one time period and one thing. In the fight you'll be watching later, there is a Renaissance fairy sword wizard, but the hunter is, an alien from another planet. So we've got, because of the way the story works, where the fights all take place in this thing called the Winding, which is the center of all realities and all times, we can do whatever we want. So the answer to your question about fairies is yes, of course there's fairies. Would you like a fight with fairies? I can do a fight with fairies.
Everyone, both in Pixelwyck and on Facebook and YouTube, do you want to fight with fairies? Let us know, and we'll await the answers.
I will produce that, although I know the answer is yes. I haven't tossed a peasant yet, but we could. That's a good idea. We should toss some peasants. Our greatest bard of all time, who is in the first fight, Bartholomew Worthington, would absolutely toss peasants as often as possible. I can't remember what the second question was.
Where's the mead?
Oh, everywhere, all around. In the Winding, the very air is made of weed. Mead. I mean, the other thing too, maybe.
Ye old Freudian slip. I love it. Oh, we've got someone wandering through. Is that someone named William? Hello and welcome. This is actually a good time, since we're about 20 minutes in, to remind you all that if you have your cameras and your videos on, we can see and hear you if you're within Pixelwyck. So you can use your little camera device and your little microphone device to mute and turn off your camera if you so wish. And if you come up to the front of the stage, we can hear everything you're saying.
We can hear whoever that is right now.
Yes.
I don't know who it is. But
William Burner of Stone, I'm going to mute you if you don't mind on my end for the people on Facebook. There we go. But if you do have questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Let's see what we have here. That guy Frosty asks, you say you're from upstate New York. Did you ever come to the New York Renaissance Festival?
I haven't, but I would love to. I would love to go to every Ren Fair. Please bring me to your Ren Fair. Tell your people that you want to see us at your Ren Fair. We will make that happen.
And we have.
Oh, sorry, I'm back.
Yay!
Welcome back.
I came back. And my unicorn is very feisty tonight, and I had to go give them chocolate ice cream.
Fair.
Yeah, no, it's cool. And also, I lost my shot glass, and I'm just gonna drink this whole bottle of Fireball.
That makes sense.
I don't know where it was. I don't know what planet I'm on right now. Okay, anyway, so yeah. So Live the Druid, go ahead. Sorry, I was the Ren Fair. Go to New York Ren Fair, doop and Liv, go ahead.
I was just saying that at least 2 people now have said they definitely want to fight with fairies. So that's good.
Good. Well, that's good. I'm sorry,
Wait
William.
a minute, what did I miss?
You as well. People have requested fairy fights. They wanted to know if there were fairies, and I said we could get you fairies if you want fairies.
Yes.
Right? Like, it's kind of like whatever you request, like, we'll make it happen.
Yeah.
Except for my shot glass. Where the heck?
Yeah, I just applied for another variety show, and they were asking, how your sword fights are going to fit into our theme. And I said, what's your theme? And I will make it fit.
Right.
Because
sometimes
we can do anything.
Sometimes I think it's like, I think it's interesting because as performers, we can fulfill needs that people don't even know that we can fulfill, and not in a weird way. So stop thinking like that, brood man. So like, I just want to be like, you think I'm cool? Just what do you need? I'll do it.
Yeah.
Within reason, but also if you pay me enough, anything. So like, I think people forget that sometimes. In the chat we have Moon asked, where is the New York Ren Fair held? It's in Tuxedo, New York, which is closer to New York City. It's a couple hours north of New York City, north of Westchester, I believe.
Oh, okay.
I haven't been there in a number of years.
So driving distance from the X-Men. Got it.
From the what?
From the X-Men.
Yes. So where the X-Men are they in Westchester?
They're in Westchester, yeah.
Oh my God, I should have known that when I was living in New York City.
And a fun fact, Tuxedo the place is not named after Tuxedo the suit. Tuxedo the suit is named after Tuxedo the place.
Interesting. I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
Liv, you've done that festival, right?
That was my very first festival. That's my home festival.
Oh,
Aye.
Home festival. What I think, and so people who are watching who might not know like the greater circuit of Renaissance festivals, because it's really easy to forget that there's a lot of other Renaissance festivals all around the country. There are 2 big Renaissance festivals in New York. I think there's 1 or 2 like smaller festivals in New York. One is called the New York Renaissance Festival, and that is the one in Tuxedo, and the town of that festival is Sterling. And then the other big New York Renaissance Festival is called the Sterling Renaissance Festival, and that is in the town called Sterling. The festival is Warwick. So just in case, I hope that cleared it all up, Liv. You got it?
So much clearer.
No, I
So
know
much.
about both, and I've heard this many times, and it still didn't get any clearer.
So Sterling, the upstate Sterling, the Sterling that's not in Tuxedo, the Sterling that's in Sterling, that is where I started, where my home fair is. And that's right up by Oswego, New York, right up underneath. Like, okay, so like I figured this out. My hand looks like the state of New York, right?
Okay.
And the lake is here in this part that doesn't have my hand. And then the big part, and down here is New York City. And then like Long Island's just my arm. Oswego is like, right by the lake. Right by the lake. And the festival is right up by the lake. So
Neat.
you say the upstate New York one, that's like actual upstate, not just north of Westchester upstate.
Oh, Andrew
Got it?
Lesney.
Everyone got it?
Andrew Lesney adds
Got it.
another piece that I didn't even realize, but of course, Tuxedo Park is very close, like within 15-minute drive of Warwick, New York.
Shut up. Oh my gosh, I did not even know that. Oh my gosh, where is my
Small world after, and we'll get sued if I say any more of that.
Yeah, no, exactly. I was gonna say, don't finish that. You're gonna get sued, and we're actors, and we don't have any.
Yeah, we don't have that money.
Yeah,
My
no.
God.
Everyone, take a drink of your drink. Don't tell Daisy I'm drinking out of her fireball.
I'm sure it's fine.
That's fine.
Is Daisy the unicorn, or is that a different creature that lives in your
No,
home?
Daisy is my friend Daisy Odiani. She's at the Maryland Renaissance Festival, and she's hysterical, but she's not home right now, so I can drink out of her fireball bottle.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but
As long as you
of people
refill
know
it
who
with
she is.
something before she gets back.
Or I'll just get her a new one. I mean,
That too.
there's like half a bottle. It's going to be gone by the time she gets back. Anyway, it's been a day, y'all. We
It
have
sure has.
Jakeem the magician. Sorry, I can't read because Fireball is here from TRF. Greetings from TRF. That's the Texas Renaissance Festival down by Houston. It's the biggest festival in the entire country. So if you can go there, just plan to spend like 4 weeks there because there's tons of stuff. I did that festival. My sister. Right? Oh, yeah. Oh, Mike. So I used to have a sword fighting show with my sister, and it was called the Steel Sisters.
Oh,
and
wow.
so, yeah, I just wanted to say that because I thought that would make you think I was cool.
I already thought you were cool, but that helps.
Thank you. Right. But we did TRF two years. And it's so big that we did not want to leave our stage between shows because we thought we would get lost and then not make it back to our stage in time for our show. And so we did it. So it wasn't until the second year that that we actually left our stage. Jakeem, thank you. He said, I already thought you were cool. Bonus points, my favorite.
Yeah. New favorites all the time. You couldn't have just left a trail of breadcrumbs from the stage to wherever you went?
No, because you know how many people are at
Yeah, but nobody's going to eat anything that falls on the ground. Not at a Ren
That's
fair.
literally not true. That's literally not a true fact.
I guess that depends on how much Fireball has been flowing.
Everyone take your drink.
Oh.
Mike, next time you come to something that I'm at, you got to bring a beverage.
Yeah, I might just run to the living room real quick and grab it. In fact, I think I will.
Okay, go.
BRB.
Do it.
Toad's cool. Do it.
Hey,
Okay, now he's done.
Gwendolyn.
Let's talk about what's up.
I also did a sword fighting show. Do you think I'm cool?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
You did
I mean,
a sword fighting show?
technically, it was a spoon fighting show. So here's the thing: I was part of a pirate crew, and we had a fight show, but I was the ship's cook, and everyone else got swords, and I got a ladle and a giant roasting fork, and that's what I fought with. Yeah.
Oh my God, Liv the Druid. We need to totes have a fight in Larkspur.
That'd be fun. That'd be fun.
Oh my God,
yes.
that's
For anyone
fun.
who doesn't know,
Oh yeah, Mike.
we're going to meet for the first. Gwendolyn and Liv the Druid are going to meet for the first time, not in the realm of the internet.
My
But like
God.
face to face with like real breathing the same air, not the same air, 6 feet apart, but like
yeah,
that much
definitely
air.
not the same air.
No. Yeah, we're gonna meet for reals in
That's awesome.
Larkspur.
There are so
I
many
met-
people who are good at sword fighting because Ian Morris, this is something that once we walk out of Pixelwyck, Mike, you can always check out. But Ian Morris says that he performed choreographed sword fights in the Vizcaya Palace in Miami and has a link. So that is a link
neat.
to be explored at a later date.
Where is that link? Is
Fancy.
that on the Facebooks?
It is on the Facebook. Wait, triple checking?
Alright.
Yes, on the Facebooks.
All right, I will find it so I can
Yeah.
save it for later.
Save it for later.
Taxat Duck says, and this is after my own heart, bringing a ladle and a fork to a sword fight. That's forked up. Thank you.
That's hashtag Taxat Doug. That's him all over.
Mhm.
I do want to mention, because we're halfway through our green room, so anyone who's new that's just tuning in here in Pixelwyck or on YouTube or on Facebook, thank you for being here. This is our Inside the Green Room before the main stage show starts at 8 o'clock. And you can watch the main stage show from a couple different places. You can watch it on Facebook.com/Gwendolyn Show. No, you can't watch it there. Nothing is happening. Facebook.com/Digital Run Fair, YouTube.com/Digital Run Fair, or you can go to the Palace, which we believe is building number 12. Oh no, I'm being invaded again. Building number 12.
Unicorn
Please
invasion.
Unicorn.
Building number 12. So
it just looked like he wanted to take a drink of his drink. I mean,
he's just following the instructions. He has what seems to be an age-appropriate beverage as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but yes. So in the palace, if you wander up, so the palace is the first building if you're in Pixelwyck, and then you turn left. You go into the palace, and you'll see all our happy little Digital Ren Fair people. And as you approach the dais, it'll say "Click X," and if you click X, then you'll be able to watch the show with everybody. Or if you want to do it the way that we've always done, you can also do that as well on Facebook, Digital Ren Fair, or on YouTube, also Digital Ren Fair.
And also a general rule for stuff in Pixelwyck: if you go up to an object and it glows kind of that yellow orangey glow, that means you can click X and get some extra information. So you might notice on either side of our stage we have tip barrels. And so if you go up close to them, they will glow yellow or orange, and you click X and it will give you the option to tip something, but I don't know what got put on them. So Liv, would you tell people what got put on them?
Sure. It's the Digital Ren Fair tipping information. So all of the shows that we've been putting together, all of the tips that you give to the performers, they go to the performers 100%. So the Digital Ren Fair doesn't take any sort of cut from that. So we get anything that we give our otherwise volunteers comes from our Patreon, patreon.com/Digital Ren Fair, or our PayPal. It's just our account, so paypal.me/Digital Ren Fair. And so direct links you can find in the barrels on either side of the stage if you're in Pixelwyck, or if you are in Facebook or YouTube, you will be getting the links right meow.
Meow. And also when you when you watch the main stage production that begins at 8 o'clock, during everyone's segments, so League of Swords, Star-Crossed Rovers, and Lore Weavers, during their segments, you will see their virtual tip baskets up on the screen along with them, as well as in the comments. So if you want to toss a coin or $5 or $10 or whatever, you do you. You're not my responsibility. But you tip them as you see fit, and you will see their distinct tip basket. Like Liv said, all the performers for the Digital Ren Fair get to keep all of their own tips. So please be generous, because they just put on a whole show and recorded a bunch of stuff just for you.
Give us your money, all that you got.
True Rose.
Just fork it on over. See, we're best friends now, Mike.
Okay,
now
good.
I have a question for Mike, League of Swords, and Liv the Druid. I have a question for you too.
Okay.
How do you feel about cheese? Liv, go first.
Oh my God. I love cheese so much. And it's funny because you haven't heard our show, but in the Music the Gathering show, I sing a song called Bringing in the Sheaves. And people always mishear me and think I'm saying cheese instead of sheaves. And I understand why they think I say that, because the amount of cheese that I bring into my body is, some would say, obscene.
I think I'm in love with you. That's amazing. I can't wait to see your show in Colorado. Mike, League of Swords, how do you feel about cheese? Go.
The League of Swords loves cheese. Mike himself really likes cheese on pizza, and when it's in fried sticks, and in no other place. Please keep the cheese away from me.
Totally valid. Those are the two best forms of cheese, actually. There's a chart. You can Google it. There's a chart for the best forms of cheese, and top is on pizza.
It's true.
Everyone take a drink. You both drank. Now I have to drink.
I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry.
Broodman wants to know what kind of cheese we would take on a classy date. I think mozzarella sticks still, because they never get to go anywhere classy. You really take them out and show them a good time.
Yeah.
Mozzarella sticks never get to go anywhere.
That's a really good justification. I really like that.
That's a good. Someone write that down and send it to me at my Facebook page. I'm looking at you, Broodman, or text at Duck. Or William.
What building number is this? Because somebody's lost outside.
2. Building number 2.
Building 2.
Dos. Or duh. I'm trilingual.
Was he here? Is that who just wandered in?
Sir Nolan?
Yes, it is.
Oh, yes, perfect. Welcome, Sir Nolan.
You found
we made
me.
it.
Try and stop me. Sorry.
I'm torn because my favorite cheese, I thought, that would make a great date. My favorite cheese is drunken goat cheese. And if anyone's ever had it, it's like a hard goat cheese it has like a purple wax on the outside because it's been dunked in a wine barrel. And I think that it's purple. So it's like you'd like to have it on your arm when you go into a fancy restaurant. But do you really want a date who's going to be drunk all the time?
It depends on where you're taking them.
It does.
If you're taking them to a Ren fair, then I imagine yes, you do want them to be drunk all the time.
I mean, I don't know, because if they don't remember what they saw at the Renaissance Festival, then how are you going to convince them to come to another Renaissance Festival?
That's true.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah. Broodman says it has to be somewhere classy, like a Broadway show. Side note, you guys, In the Heights came out on
Oh my God,
today.
it was so good. My wife and I watched it last night. It's so good.
I
say nothing else.
The trailer was amazing. Anyway, and also the next Jurassic Park comes out a year from today. So I just had to say that. And the last Jurassic Park came out last year today.
Have you watched the Jurassic Park cartoon on Netflix?
I have not. I live under a rock.
Fabulous. Seriously, way better than it has any right to be, and terrifying. It's all about kids who got left behind on the island after everyone evacuates after the first Jurassic World and have to survive on the island full of dinosaurs by themselves. And it's fabulous. It's really good.
That's amazing. So I'm feeling like a watch party, maybe.
That sounds like a plan.
Oh my gosh, it'd be so exciting. William Burner of Spoon would like to know how much cheese is too much cheese on a date. Mike, why don't you take that one first?
It depends. If you're dating me, you're getting all of the cheese, and there's nothing you can do about it. Because I'm just.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm very cheesy.
You're very generous too, because if someone's on a date with me, I am not giving them any of the cheese. They get their own cheese. You order your own cheese.
Oh, you see, I read that as how much cheese would be too much cheese to give you on a date. And as someone who did receive a gift of cheese recently, I think that there is no too much cheese because I couldn't eat the cheese in one sitting. So then I had to eat it over a longer period of time, which meant I kept thinking about that person every time I ate cheese, which was genius.
That is genius. I saw an excerpt from some old 1800s dating advice book that was. Can people not hear me anymore?
We can see
I think. So here's pause, Mike, for just a second.
Yep.
So, Sir Nolan, on the top of your screen, you might see 6 different little boxes of people you can see, and there might be an arrow over to the right. I think I'm doing it the right way, but I don't know. Over to the right, and if you click that arrow, you might be able to see Mike at that point.
Also, they can't hear me. So please tell them if they can't hear or see me. Sometimes refreshing helps with Gather.
Mm-hmm.
That's true too. I think it says. I think he just can't see you.
Okay,
that's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, I just want to say MLG on YouTube says, "Hello, everyone. Cheese makes everything better," which I agree with 100%.
It's a hashtag truth. Everyone take a drink of your drink.
Mm-hmm.
Jakeem says Mike's video icon says connecting. If a video icon says connecting, I think that's a good time to refresh.
Yeah, that usually fixes it for me.
Yeah. And also make sure all of your other tabs and browsers and applications are all closed. Gather.com, gather.town takes a lot of extra bandwidth. So
yeah.
Try doing that. We have about 10-ish minutes, 5 to 10 minutes left. So make sure you got your questions in either on Facebook, YouTube, which Liv is monitoring, or here on the chat on Pixelwyck. Those of you who are brand new, just got here, we're so excited that you're here. You can watch the upcoming main stage Digital Ren Fair show featuring Star-Crossed Rovers, Lore Weavers, and League of Swords, from which we have Mike right here. Yeah, you can watch that 3 different ways. You can watch it on Facebook.com/Digital Ren Fair, on YouTube.com/Digital Ren Fair, or right here in Pixelwyck if you go over to the Palace, which we think is building number 12. But just follow the sound of everyone's voices. You'll get there. No big deal. So go over there. You can watch it. It's like a watch party, but in Pixelwyck. And also a reminder, you can tip your performers. Right now, you can tip the Digital Ren Fair. The barrels are on either side of this stage. They say tips. You can go right up to them, and if you go up to them, they glow orange. You click X, and then you get our tip information. But during the festival, during the main stage show, you will get all that tip information both in the comments and on the screen while you watch the performances. Okay.
I just noticed
Jonk
I was going to say that. Jonk and Cheryl are here, which is fantastic. And they got to see Lady Victoria in person at the Georgia Renaissance Festival. If you guys don't know who Jonk and Cheryl are, they are behind renfest.org, which is an amazing website that has a list of performers and festivals and artisans, and has ideas for how to create your own Renfest at home as well.
They were also wooed by me and one of the other performers from the League of Swords in a previous performance in Pixelwyck.
Wait a minute. You wooed them? How did you? I would like a reenactment.
I believe, because I was in character as the greatest poet who ever lived at that point. And I believe it was something along the lines of, your eyes are like the stars of the night sky, and, other things that you say. Promises you don't intend to keep, that sort of things.
Very fancy. Woo! That's what I want. Let's have a wooing contest someday, you guys. I think that's a good idea.
So when we were doing the last League of Swords thing here in Pixelwyck, my friend who helped me write the script wrote a wooing contest, and he thought he meant wooing like we wooed John Kay and Cheryl, and I thought he meant woo, and we hadn't talked about it before we went on stage, and so we were both very confused.
I love when that happens.
That reminds me
on stage can be so fun. Go Liv, yeah.
That sounds like a similar miscommunication as the Who's Hotter contest that you had, Gwendolyn.
Oh my gosh. So listen, you guys. So I just finished up the Scarborough Renaissance Festival, which is a fantastic Renaissance festival. It was their 40th season. And I share the stage with Nature of Mercy, which is an epic sword fighting show. And in Nature of Mercy is Captain Griffin and Francesca. And so put that to the side. I have 4 shows a day. My final show of the day in Scarborough is an AGA, Ask Gwendolyn Anything. And one of the questions that got asked was, who's hotter, Francesca from Nature of Mercy or Gwendolyn? And Francesca had a little forehead thermometer or anything. And so she came out and she tested us every day for 8 weekends. And she was hotter every time. By sometimes it was like by 0.2 of a point. And you know what? Finally I wised up, you guys. I was like, I'm going to get myself hotter. So I was like standing here, like flapping my forehead and like breathing into my hands to get it hot. I still didn't win.
Go find the turkey leg booth and just stick your head in the for a minute.
Oh God, I thought you were gonna say put a turkey leg on your forehead, and I was like, oh, that's gross.
3 times.
I know I didn't win.
It's a new foundation, darling. Everyone's doing it.
Oh my God, it'll protect you from everything, and then also never come off.
I missed this comment before. MLG on YouTube says, if the queen can cut cake with a sword, can you cut cheese with a sword?
Of course, you can cut anything with a sword.
I cut
Have
cheese
you all
with
have you all
scissors.
seen the video of the Queen cutting a cake with a sword?
No.
Which queen? What
It
queen?
came
What
out
are you
the Queen
talking
of
about?
England. It came out fairly
No!
recently, like today, and she's at some sort of royal event, and she grabs this ceremonial sword to cut the cake, and Kate Middleton is like, "You know we have knives," and she's like, "I know," and then cuts the cake.
Amazing.
Shut up!
It's such a fabulous old lady
gosh.
moment.
My
Oh,
hero.
she's amazing. God save the queen, you guys.
God save the
Well,
queen.
God save the queen. Everyone take a drink of your drink.
Mm.
All right. Well, we have come to just about the end of our live Inside the Green Room with Liv the Druid, who's the host of our main stage show here in just about 15 minutes, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and Mike from League of Swords, who is a featured performer. We're so excited that you're here. You can watch the Digital Red Fair main stage show, Myths and Mysteries. Did I say it right, Liv?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay,
yes.
great. Myths and Mysteries. Eastern. You can watch it 3 different ways. You can watch it on Facebook on the Digital Ren Fair's Facebook page. You can watch it on youtube.com/Digital Ren Fair, or you can watch it right here in Pixelwyck. If you go over to building number 12, that's the Palace. It's going to be like a watch party. If you click right on the screen that's going to be showing you the main stage show, it will make that screen bigger and take up a whole bunch of room. So you don't have to look at the tiny little screens that are on the top of your monitor. Also, like I said, on either side of the stage are our tip barrels. If you want to tip the Digital Ren Fair for bringing you this awesome curated virtual content, you just go right up to the tip
They're
jar.
awesome. They work so hard for you.
Thanks, Mike. If you go up to the tip basket, it'll glow yellow. You push X and it'll bring up the tip information. And also during the main stage shows, you will have the tip information for all of the performers. It'll be both in the comments and on the screen. So feel free and be generous with them, because it's been a crazy 2020 and 2021. Like, I don't even know. It's like we're almost halfway through this year and I need a nap, you guys.
I
So
can't
make
believe
sure-
we're almost halfway through this year. My God.
Yeah, I'm mad at myself for even saying that out loud. But in the meantime, feel free to go into the different booths here in Pixelwyck. Every booth here that has a number is a shop, and you can go in there and go shopping and see different people's art, like different people's products, and they're super cool. Liv, did you have something to add?
Yes, I know that Wicked Winglings, which is booth number 24, they will be making dragons until about 9 o'clock tonight. So if you want to go right before the show, if you need an intermission, though I don't think you're going to want to see all these shows, trust me. But I'll be keeping, the show is only 45 minutes long, so if you want to go after the show, you can do that as well. But feel free to explore the shops, and we'll be keeping Pixelwyck open until about 9:30 Eastern tonight.
So you'll have plenty of time after the show to be able to go shop, work your way around the festival, the virtual festival site. If you've never been here, this is a fantastic and super awesome place to go. And we are planning on having multiple different kinds of events here on Pixelwyck. So keep your eyes on the Digital Ren Fair Facebook page. Okay, final words in the last 2 minutes. Final words, think of them. Think of them in your head. Think of them in your heart. All right, ready? Liv the Druid, go.
And the Mome Raths outgrabe.
Oh my gosh, everyone take a drink of your drink. All right, next final words. Next final words. Mike, go.
Hollandaise.
Ooh, good
Ooh,
word.
that's a good one.
But also follow League of Swords on Twitter at League of Swords, and on Facebook at facebook.com/League of Swords.
Yes, yes, and you can see all of the information, the social media information for League of Swords and all the performers tonight on the stream during the main stage show. So make sure you do that. Everyone take a drink of your drink. Sorry, I did it late.
So hydrated.
So it's very important you be hydrated in my shorts and my shorts and my shows, and I'm very excited. Everything you guys,
You don't want to hydrate your shorts, folks. That's
no,
just
I'm gonna switch over to the other vessel I'm drinking from, and it's Fireball. Everyone take a drink of your drink. And my final words are: give us your hands if we be friends, and Robin will restore amends. Have a great rest of your night, you guys. We'll see you at the main stage show. Bye.
Bye.